Wow, it's quite something. This world that we're living in right now, all the changes, everything's changing hour by hour, minute by minute most of the time, and we're all just trying to keep up. We're trying to figure out what it means to be people in this new environment, this world that we're living in, and we're all scared. You go to the grocery store and you see shelves that used to be full are now empty. You see people walking around looking concerned, and it's a strange new world for all of us. And I'm just personally as a guy who's a pastor, and I've only been a pastor a year, and this is not something that they prepare you for in seminary to pastor a church in the middle of a pandemic, and yet here we are. So, we're learning to navigate what this new world is. We're learning to navigate that together. I'm just encouraging people to be kind to one another. Here's my reality. There's a church. This is the church now for so many of us who are pastors. Obviously it's Wednesday afternoon, so that's a little bit different, but that's the reality for us, is that meeting as the church is different now. Caring for one another is different. Connecting with one another is different. And yet that's the world that we find ourselves in. So I encourage people, even if you're watching this and maybe you don't believe in God, or religion has burned you in some way, going to a church people have hurt you. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that that's happened to you in your life. But here we are. Let's care for one another. Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you. Let's care for one another. Even if people are tuning in right now and have questions or just want to process stuff, I'm open to doing that as well. It's quite something. What are the struggles that people are having? What are the realities that they're facing? I know for me, like I said, just go to the Safeway and realize that. Not even a week ago, people were watching hockey and sports on TV, and that's not around anymore. And those are during times of 9/11 and SARS and things like that. There were times in human history and recent human history where we had things to tune into. We had distractions during challenging times. We had the opportunity to watch sports and just distract ourselves from some of the scary realities of life. And here we are now without that, without even some of those things. Just even in the last little while, watching theaters closing. Theaters are closing, and that's not a big thing. But when you think about, what do people do on the weekends? What do people do in the evenings? Theaters being closed, movie productions being canceled, TV productions being canceled. A lot of the things that we had the ability to distract ourselves with before no longer exist, at least not for now. So, if you're watching, just let me know that you're there. Let me know that what are some of the things that you're struggling with? What are some of the things that you're grateful for and you appreciate during this time? A friend of mine was saying not that long ago that, why is this happening? What's going on? And I said, well, I'm not somebody who's going to suggest necessarily that this virus and the pandemic is happening for a specific reason, and yet it's, to me, I know for me personally, it's already causing me to rethink my priorities. It's already causing me to reflect on some of the things that are important, the things that have been important in my life and continue to be important in my life. So I'm returning back to the core stuff that's important to me. That includes friends. That includes being grateful for the fact that I can get up in the morning, the fact that I can connect with people, the fact that you can pick up the phone and talk to someone. So rather than living our lives on autopilot, we can get back to reconnecting with people. For me, the big word in this past year so far has been intentionality. I'm looking forward to being intentional. I'm trying to be intentional about relationships, intentional about my commitments to people, intentional about the way I live. And so, here we are in a time of intentionality where we can really care for one another. We can really reach out to one another. That's one of my biggest concerns in this time of social distancing and self-isolation and self-quarantining and all of that is not even so much just protecting ourselves from the virus, but also people are being isolated. People are alone, people are lonely, people have anxiety issues at the best of times. And so here we are in a season where anxiety and isolation can be even more impactful, can be even more painful, can be felt even more keenly. So my encouragement is to just be there for people. Be there for the people that matter to you. Be there for the people that you maybe don't even necessarily interact with normally. Connect with your neighbors, the people that are just right around you. They're just as worried as you are. And so for me, this is an opportunity to really build connection and build relationships and deepen relationships with the people that we care about. So as far as Braemar Baptist Church and me as the pastor goes, we're going to be live streaming our services. Not the full service, but I'm going to take it back to basics. I'm going to pray, I'm going to preach, and I'm going to be open to interacting with people online as we go along. So we'll be doing that every Sunday morning at 11. And I think I'll also be doing things like this periodically, just popping online and just sharing a quick devotion or things like that. So anyway, everybody stay safe. It's amazing how fast things are changing. Thanks for tuning in, Jen. You look like you've been the one person the whole time. So, be well, everyone, and take care of each other. Think of other people first, because that's how we're going to get through this. Cheers. God bless.